Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian here, and I just wanted to make a quick video about something that I've been thinking a lot about recently. Just because I've been going through a couple different things as far as figuring out plans for different business ideas that I have, and just different things I want to get accomplished in the next several years. And one of the things that's been sticking out in my mind recently that has been helping me along the way, and hopefully it'll help you along the way too wherever you're at in your life, is the idea of the power of taking action. So it seems, kind of, something like a no-brainer, right? Like take action, do what you want to do in life. But I think there's a lot of things that go into it that kind of trip people up and get people to stop from actually taking that first step towards whatever they want to accomplish. So what I want to talk about real quick in just the next couple of minutes is just ways that you can take action on different things that you want to do, ways that you can overcome a lot of the fear of taking action, maybe the fear of failure, or even for some people, the fear of success. There's a lot of things that go through our heads when we have an idea that we want to pursue that stop us from pursuing it or stop us from taking that first step. So, I guess the first thing that comes to mind when I think about taking action is your reasons for either taking action or not taking action. So let's use an example of someone who has an idea to start a business, right? They want to create a product or they want to start a business, for many people in the entertainment industry as a choreographer or an actor or whatever it may be. They want to start down some path. And a lot of people brainstorm and they think about, they see themselves, they visualize where they want to be at in 5 years, 6 years, 1 year, 10 years, however long. They visualize the goal, right? And that goal is often so lofty, which is good. You want your goal to be big. You want your goal to be, exactly what you want your life to be, because that allows you to get through whatever obstacles come your way because of the enthusiasm you have over the goal that you want. But a lot of people set such lofty goals that they have no idea how to get there. And it's really hard for them to take that big goal that might be 6 months, a year down the road, or 3 years, however long, and break down the small little goals along the way to get there. And then after they break down those goals, you have to set forth action steps to actually make those goals happen. So one thing that you should definitely do that's helped me, and that's helped a lot of people that I talk to, as far as getting going to fulfilling their goals, is take whatever your ultimate goal is at the moment. So let's use the example again of the person trying to start a business. So their goal is to have a fully running business that they enjoy every day, that makes them all the money they want and gives them the freedom to live their life as they want. I think that's the dream for most people, um, or at least a lot of us. So, the first action step towards that would be researching or finding out more information about what you want to pursue. Um, and then there's action steps after that, after that, after that. But what this video is really about is the barriers to taking that first step. So for a lot of people, what happens is, you have all the mental capacity going towards this goal, and you are really thinking about it, and it's something that you want to do, you want to accomplish, but for some reason you just never take that first step. So I think the first thing you need to do is define what that first step is. So whatever your goal is, whatever your long-term plan is, define what the first step that you need to take to start motion towards that is. So for someone starting a business, it might be getting in contact with someone who's done something that they want to do, right? So for people getting into the entertainment industry, for people wanting to become whatever you want to become, the best thing to do is find someone that's doing something close to or exactly what you eventually want to do and try to model them. Try to look at what they've done, try to look at the steps that they've taken and figure out what was their first step. And that could be something as simple as sending someone an email and asking them. If it's someone that's a little more, higher up, a celebrity or something like that, pick up their biography, pick up their autobiography, read about them, figure out what they did, where they came from, and how they took that first step. So that's the first barrier to taking action. A lot of people don't know what their first step is to take. Now, what happens to a lot of people is once they figure out what that first step is, they just never take it. There's just something happens, there's a disconnect, and they just don't actually take that first step. And I think that's because there's a couple different barriers. One of them is fear of failure. So fear of failure is basically, you know what you want to do, you know the steps to get there, yet you don't take action, and it's because you're afraid of failing. You're afraid of how you'll look. If you tell all of your friends and families that you're going after this thing and then you fail, you don't succeed, you're afraid of, the hard work that it's going to take to get there. You're afraid of, what happens if you pour your heart and soul into this thing for years and years and it just never goes anywhere. There's a lot of fears that go along with not taking action. So what I would say to those people, if you're one of those people out there, if you have an idea and you just can't seem to get the momentum going to go after it because of this fear of not succeeding or leaving what you have now and then being stuck or being broke or whatever it is, I would just say one word to you, and that word is regret. So think about someone on their deathbed, right? Think about someone who's lived their entire life. The biggest thing that most of those people say, and it's actually been kind of documented in a couple different books of conversations with people on their deathbeds or people who are older, and the biggest thing they say is that they wish they would have gone after what they wanted in life. They wish they didn't work so hard. They wish they could have spent more time with their family. They wish they could have had more fun, right? This is like across the board what most people regret most once they're at old age and they're getting ready to die. So the biggest thing I could say to anyone who's my age, your mid-20s, younger, or even older, who's trying to start their own thing is that all we're promised in this life is this right now. You could walk outside tomorrow and get hit by a car, and that could be it. So the biggest thing is not living life with regrets. So if you have an action that you want to take, if you have something you want to pursue, and you're not doing it because you're afraid of failing, there really should be no fear of failure, because, failing 1,000 times is better than not even trying, to be honest with you. So what you should do if you still have that fear of failure and that fear of what will happen if it doesn't work out is write a list. Take a piece of paper and write a list and write down in graphic detail the worst possible things that could happen if you try what you're thinking of trying, whether it be a business, whether it be a life change, whether it be a move, to a different part of the country or a different country in general, whatever it is. Write down the worst possible case scenario, what will happen. And then write down what you would do to remedy that. So let's say you quit your job and you try to start your own business and it just fails completely and you're in debt and everything like that. Figure out what you would do to get yourself back on your feet. And 9 times out of 10, what you'll realize is the worst case scenarios really aren't that bad. Really, they really aren't. So, it might be, okay, you're a little bit in debt and you got to get an extra part-time job to make ends meet while you pay that money back, whatever it is. You can always go back to what you're doing right now if your idea fails. That'll always be there for you, whatever it is. So the bigger fear, the biggest worst case scenario is not going after that and then fast forwarding 10 to 15 years and feeling regret about not going after what you want to go after. So I would say fear of failure is a big barrier for a lot of people taking action. There's a couple other barriers too, but I think that's the biggest one. And then the other part of action is the power it has to transform you and transform your life. I think there's an inherent power in taking a step towards something you want, however little it might be. So for instance, myself, I have a business idea that I want to pursue, and I decided to take the action of emailing a couple people that have kind of done what I wanted to do or where I want to be, and just out of the blue, seeing if any of them responded and, would kind of guide me along the way. And that did 2 things. That number one, got the ball rolling. And that's the hardest part for a lot of people with any idea for a business or whatever it is just getting the ball rolling, getting started. And it also paid off because two of the people that I emailed actually emailed me right back, and they were like, I would love to meet you with you, I'd love to talk to you about it, because a lot of times people who have done what you want to do remember what it was like to be where you are right now, to be where you are when you're starting out, and they love the fact, they love the idea of being able to give back and communicate with someone on that level and kind of mentor someone through the process of starting what they want to start. So there's a big thing to be said for just taking action, whatever it is. And you don't even need to know what the first step is. I mean, you know, starting to run and falling 100 times, but then eventually being able to run is better than not trying to run at all. So you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to have roadblocks that come up along the way, and there's going to be things that happen that aren't what you planned and kind of put a dent in your momentum. But as long as you keep taking steps every day towards that goal, no matter how small they may be, you're going to get there eventually, right? So, those old sayings, Rome wasn't built in a day. It took 7 days for God to build the earth, the world, or whatever. Nothing happens instantly. So you got to have delayed gratification. You got to be okay with waiting and working for what you want. But I will tell you this, if you take that first step, that first action step, everything else just seems so much easier. You wonder what took you so long to take that step in the first place. So that's just kind of what I wanted to touch on here. It's something I've been thinking about for the past couple of days to the week, of just the power of taking that action step, taking that first step towards whatever you want. Because you can learn as you go, you can adjust as you go, and it's never going to be perfect. Your path is never going to be perfect. So a lot of people don't take action because they want their plans to be perfectly in place first, and they want to know exactly what they're doing every step of the way. But that's just not how life works. So you can plan all you want, but life's going to throw you a curveball. So what I would suggest to you, if you're someone sitting at home or someone that has the idea of wanting to ask for a raise or at your job, or wanting to quit your job and start your own business, or a dancer who is just afraid to audition for some certain thing and just hasn't pushed themselves out there as much as they could be, an actor who could be doing so much more for their career but is kind of just sitting around and waiting for the phone to call from their agent. Take action right now, no matter what it is. If there's something you want out of life, if you get the ball rolling towards it, everything else is going to kind of come together as you go along. So, this video is getting a little long now. It's about 13 minutes, but I just want to touch on that. And if it helps one person out there kind of look at what they're doing, their situation, and kind of say, you know what, he's right. I should just try it. Just take action. Just see what happens. You never know what's going to happen from that. And you might be surprised how fast you start progressing towards that goal. The more you just set little goals, set little action steps every day, and take them towards a bigger goal. So that's it for me right now. Just keep in mind, stay positive, stay going towards whatever your goals are. Remember that you're only promised this one life, so the last thing you want to do is look back on it and have regrets about stuff that you didn't pursue. And most of all, just take action no matter what it is. Even if it's a small little step that seems insignificant right now, it's going to add up to a bigger picture later on. All right? So I hope that helped you guys. As always, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some more of these videos coming up. I'm kind of shifting career paths a little bit, slowly but surely, into a different realm than just the professional dance world. So more on that soon. But I'm going to be doing a couple more of these videos just about motivational stuff, about ways to kind of kick your life into a higher gear than it already is. I think something that's plaguing the human race right now is being okay and settling in your life. And that's something I really want to get people to think critically about and think about how they can get out of that mode, because it doesn't lead anywhere good. It just leads to regrets later in life. So that's it for me right now. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.